The month of January 2023 is going to feel a lot different than December in a very good and beneficial, expansive sort of way. Hey, what's going on, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to share with you 3 of the major themes you may experience in this upcoming month of January 2023. This is going to be what you could call a collective or a channeled energy forecast for the whole month of January. For those folks like you, I assume, if you're on this video, that are doing the work, that are on the awakening path, that are willing to look at themselves. This energy reading is for you, my friend. Theme number 1, eye-opening awareness. When you start to see yourself and your life through a different lens, through different eyes, that is indicative that you've already made a very powerful internal transformation, which a lot of us have in December. Maybe you noticed December was kind of, I don't want to say tumultuous, but challenging. Because sometimes we need to go through a period of awakening, a period of upheaval in our life, where all of a sudden, all this stuff that is accumulated within our unconsciousness and then manifested itself out there in our reality suddenly starts coming to light. And what it can feel like is a whole bunch of problems that need to be solved or resolved in your life, a whole bunch of stuff out of alignment with where you want to go, things that you notice are weighing you down. This can be clutter in your home. This can be a suddenly realized toxicity within some of your relationships, maybe some of your friends or your family or people in your life. All of a sudden you realize like there's like an imbalance, like they're not really supporting you. They're not really encouraging you. They're not the type of person you want to be around all that much. And the point is, December was like that. A lot of valuable, important information coming to your awareness. And that's the result of a profound internal shift. A lot of times people, they want to get on the spirituality path. They buy the books and they do the meditation because they want to change their life. And usually what happens is when you start to embark down this journey, initially it can seem like the exact opposite's happening, where you're doing the spiritual work, but your life appears to be getting worse. But it's not. It's not getting worse at all. You're just becoming aware of the things in your life that don't really resonate, that aren't authentic and true to you, that don't fit with this person you're blossoming into. And January is like it's just a lot of awareness, where we're kind of coming out of the heavier energy of December, where those first realizations were kind of hitting us, and it's like, oh gosh, there's a problem. I got to deal with it. Oh my goodness, I didn't know this was here, but So what I'm trying to say is, now that we're heading into January, you might start finding yourself getting inspired ideas that can help you create positive changes in your life that would not have come without the contrast you experienced or we experienced in December. For example, what I'm realizing in my life as of recently is that my creative work and my career is very difficult to do it to the fullest while at my own house. I work out of this is my home. I work out of my home, which sounds fantastic, and it is in many ways, but there are just a lot of distractions, and I'm realizing it's creating an imbalance in not only my career, but also within my relationships. There's like too much dad around, and I'm bugging my kids, I'm bugging my wife, I'm just always here. So anyway, just yesterday, in fact, I signed up to this new gym here in Austin that's also a place where people can go to work. There's a co-working space and a gym. So now I have this cool place to go. I'm here at my house, ironically, at this moment. I was just interrupted by my kids, which is kind of a case in point. But the point is, what I'm trying to say is, January, you will have your own creative solutions to maybe even problems that you didn't think were possible to be solved. What I said is kind of a minor detail. I realize there have been times when I've woken up, when I've had an internal shift and realized that I can't live here in this city, that the whole collective energy of my surroundings is not at all complementary to who I'm growing into. But when you realize that initially, a lot of times you don't see a way out. You don't see, how am I going to make a change? I can't move. I have a job. I have a life. Well, what I've learned is that if we can just accept the information coming to our awareness that, you know what, even though I don't yet have an idea of what to do to change it, this I know and I can no longer deny is not working. This relationship, this career, this living situation, this city, whatever it may be, if you can just accept that and not resist, not pretend, not try to make it work in vain, knowing you're just lying to yourself, you can say, you know what, this isn't working, even though I don't know what to do. This isn't working, even though the implications is frightening to me because I just don't know what I'm going to do about it. When you can admit it, that's when the creative ideas can start flowing into your consciousness. And I'm telling you, it's happened to me a million times. Things that I thought were just what I really truly believed, I was stuck. Once I admitted that I don't like this, it's not always instant, but I'm telling you, January is a month where you will start to have these ideas just to come out of nowhere. They're synchronistic, and all of a sudden it's like, holy cow, I can't believe I never saw this before. And all of a sudden there's an opening out of your situation into a new one. That opening is bright and is inviting and it's bringing you clarity and information and guidance, and all you got to do is follow it. And January is a month to have that type of awareness. Theme number 2, you might feel inspired to create some new positive habits in your life. I'm rereading one of my favorite books right now by Napoleon Hill. It's his less famous one. Most of you know Think and Grow Rich, awesome book. He has this other book. It's called Outwitting the Devil. And this is a really cool book where you can take it for what you will, but Napoleon Hill claims he was able to communicate with the devil, the dark side of existence, the negative ion, the negativity, the entity of that. He was able to kind of dialogue with this devil, with this negativity, and inquire as to, how do you suck people in? How do you cause people to, what Napoleon Hill calls, drift? Drifting, just real quick, it'll make sense in a second, is what most people are doing. Drifting is living unconsciously. Drifting is not empowered. Drifting is not thinking for yourself, rather allowing all the conditioning of your environment and society and your parents and all that to influence who you think you are, and therefore the life you create. Most people are drifters. The devil's job, according to this sort of book where Napoleon was speaking with this devil entity, is that the devil's job is to cause people to drift. And in this book, what was revealed is that drifting is the number one way that the devil, if you will, causes people to drift is by influencing their habits. This book was written back in, I think, the 30s or something, and the devil sort of was talking about how cigarettes and alcohol are his favorite tools to cause people to drift, because it causes people to have a negative habit. It diminishes a person's willpower to do life-affirming activities and to succumb to their lower impulses. And you might be, we all have work to do. You might be becoming aware of some of your lower impulses and the behaviors that have been created. And these behaviors, you might realize, are habitual. They're unconscious. They're automatic. And January has always been a fantastic time to counteract that and to establish and create and implement new habits that in the beginning, they feel forced and they feel like you don't want to do it, even though it's good for you. But if you can make that meditation practice, yoga practice, whatever, a habit, a thought pattern, then you can start doing it automatically. And you might not see, it's like meditation. No one sees phenomenal results right away. Just as you don't become a professional elite athlete in the gym in one workout. But over time, when you make these little changes over time, though they start slowly, they can exponentialize. And before you know, you're looking back at yourself a year later thinking, holy cow, I'm in a completely different area of my life. I can't believe who I am, who I become, who I'm grown into. And it's all these individual little mini decisions and things we do day after day after day after day after day And right now, you might have something in mind. In fact, do you? If you do, please leave in the comments below. Do you have something in mind that you know if you started doing right away, every day, would change your life for the better? I know for me, what I'm doing is I've committed to meditating in stillness for 15 minutes right before I go to bed and right when I wake up. No matter what, there's no excuse. Every day for me ends in my bed. So I'm always around before and after I get out of bed. There's no excuse. That's for me. And I have a lot of different reasons why I know that'll benefit me, but that's something I'm choosing to wire in. Maybe for you, it's not a habit. Maybe you have a pretty good routine. Maybe you would benefit from changing your beliefs. Our beliefs are also a habit. We have a habitual, oftentimes conditioned way of relating with stuff, like abundance, for example. A lot of us, our relationship with abundance has been influenced by scarcity, by the scarcity and the all the over consumerism and all that kind of stuff, and within the fabric of society, it's gotten into us, and we relate in that way with abundance. And maybe for you, it's what you might do is you read a book about different alternative opinions of abundance to help wire in a different way of relating with abundance, as an example. So it's a great time to reprogram your mind, to reprogram your thinking, to reprogram your behavior, your habits, to set you up for success and an amazing new year. Number 3, I'm going to call the snapback effect. Back in the day when I used to make videos about raising your vibration, because a lot of people would ask me, Vic, how do I raise my vibration? Should I change my diet? Should I do these things? And what I would always say is that the fastest way to raise your frequency is to stop doing things that are lowering your frequency, because your frequency is very high in truth at the core. We are all eternal spirits here having a very temporary human experience. We're all connected with the power of the universe. So our vibration naturally wants to be extremely high. So the point is, what I'm trying to say is that if you can stop doing things, and I believe a lot of you will this month of January, stop doing things that are lowering your frequency, weighing you down. And for some of you, it might mean moving location, you're not hanging around negative influences so much. And you're also, maybe you're not inviting in negative influences through like unhealthy food and things like that. And you're including things that lift you up. You can do this. What I found is it takes longer for negativity to accumulate into a human life. And it's a lot faster for positivity to expand because it's more integrated. It's what we naturally are. And I'll give an example. What I'm trying to say here is I have this little skin tag on my ring finger here. And I've had it for a couple of years. And it's recently come to my attention that the reason it's there is because when I feel anxious, just even slightly anxious, I dig my thumb into my finger a little bit and I kind of pick at it, like totally unconsciously. And for the longest time, I was trying to heal it. I was putting creams on it, doing all these things to try to make it go away. Nothing worked because I was perpetuating it with my unconscious habit. Well, recently, like a week ago maybe, I discovered this is why it's happening. I knew I was picking at it, but I realized it's because it's something I do when I feel anxious. Anyway, just the awareness of that caused me, I just decided I'm not going to pick at it. Anytime I discover I'm doing it, I just stop, and it's healing. It's almost gone. It's healing very, very quickly because my finger wants to be healed. I'm the one messing with it. You're a being. You're who you are. Wants to be awesome, empowered, happy, purpose-driven, abundant, free. That's your natural state. And January is, and it has always been, one of the best times to set intentions, to change your habits, to change your thinking. And the beauty about this January is that these choices we're going to be making are going to be very conscious. It reminds me of when I was a personal trainer and I would tell people, okay, well, you got to come in and work out, and here's what you got to do. You got to go to bed early, you got to eat. And they'd say, okay, it's not rocket science, Vic, I get it, but most people wouldn't do it. Why? Is it they're not smart? No. They're not aware of their conditioning that is causing them to choose differently. Where if you survive December, which if you're watching this video, you have, December gave you a lot of awareness of those deeper core wounds, the deeper conditioning of why you do what it is you do. And because of that, you can set yourself up in January in a very conscious way with very aligned choices. And I'm telling you, when you do that, I think a lot of you will experience a lot of positive momentum and expansion this month. Before I go, I want to share with you a tip for this whole month. I don't always do this. Sometimes I feel inspired to, sometimes I don't. This month I have a message for you all, if you resonate with all this anyways. It's to go all in. To fully commit to your dreams. To fully go all in with what your soul is calling you to do. What is your soul calling you to do? What has it been begging you to do for some time? Well, it's not the right time, Vic. I have all this other stuff going on. Now's the time just to go into it. One of the things I do as my job is I'm a business coach, and for spiritual entrepreneurs, actually. And a lot of people, they sign up and they join, they say, Vic, I don't want to start investing all this time into something that I'm not yet clear on. I don't know my niche. I don't know what type of coach am I? What type of healer am I to be? I don't know yet, so I'm going to wait for clarity. And I always say the fastest way to get that clarity is to just go all in. Start doing your best, even if it's sloppy in the beginning. That's how we learn, that's how we grow, that's how we get the clarity. And January is just looking like a fantastic month just to dive in. An example I'll just share before I go is my buddy Aaron Dowdy. Some of you probably already know him and watch him. For so long, he's been talking about doing these live events. I need to start doing live events, he would say. Well, years have passed and he really hasn't. And now he's finally realizing that he's just been procrastinating, and it's time. And and I'm so proud of him, what he's intending to do this next year is not a couple of events. He's intending to do a whole bunch of live events. He just can't wait. He's actually quite nervous, but he's choosing to do it as soon as he can. He wants to do one at the end of January. He wants to rent a small little place and have a little event. It's not going to be perfect. He just wants to to jump in with both feet, because he knows that's the fastest way to really get on the fast track to your dreams. He could do a couple of events next year and think, wow, maybe, and sort of tell himself he's proud of himself, but then how long is this going to take? Sometimes there are windows of energy that invite us to jump in and to commit and to go for it. It's not always the smartest thing, but sometimes it is. And I bet for a lot of you, if you feel this, January is a time to jump in with both feet. Because I've done this in my life. When you do it, there's support. There's support from the universe, support from your divine guidance. And if you just align with the timing, you can progress towards your dreams way faster than your mind can even fathom. And I'm telling you, January is a time to go all in, my friends. There's one more thing I did not discuss yet in this video that may be relevant for a lot of you. And it has to do with a funny word called Kundalini. It's also a very spiritually activating time. And if you're having unusual energetic experiences or different types of phenomena happening in your life that you don't understand, that might make you question, am I going crazy or not? There's a lot of different weird symptoms that people can have who are going through a Kundalini awakening. Kundalini is like the energetic component of the spiritual awakening that some experience quite intensely, some don't even notice it, but those who are feeling it might want some answers, might want some clarity. And if that's you, there's a video right here I recommend checking it out. It'll give you 7 signs that you are having or have already had a Kundalini awakening, and I promise you it'll make help your life make a lot more sense. Thank you, my friends. Peace.